There are places on this earth that defy simple description, where nature and culture intertwine to create something truly extraordinary. Venezuela is one such place, a land of dramatic contrasts where ancient rivers carve through pristine wilderness. Modern cities pulse with Caribbean rhythms, and forgotten islands hold secrets that few travelers ever discover. Today, I invite you to join me on a journey through four of Venezuela's most captivating destinations, each offering its own unique magic and wonder. Our adventure begins in one of South America's most pristine wilderness areas, the Orinoco Delta. Picture, if you will, a vast labyrinth of waterways stretching endlessly toward the horizon, where the mighty Orinoco River splinters into countless channels before finally surrendering to the Atlantic Ocean. This is nature's masterpiece, painted in shades of emerald green and coffee brown, where silence reigns supreme, save for the gentle lapping of water against wooden canoes and the exotic calls of birds hidden in the dense canopy above. The delta spans over 25,000 square kilometers, making it one of the largest river deltas in the world. As you glide through these ancient waterways aboard a traditional curiara, dugout canoe carved from a single tree trunk, you become part of a landscape that has remained virtually unchanged for millennia. The indigenous Warao people, whose name literally means people of the water, have called this intricate network of rivers and islands home for over 8,000 years. Here, in this aquatic paradise, time moves differently. The rhythm of life follows the rise and fall of tides, the migration patterns of countless bird species, and the seasonal flooding that transforms the landscape twice yearly. Giant cecropia trees rise like cathedral spires from the water's edge, their broad leaves providing shelter for an incredible diversity of wildlife. Scarlet ibis paint the sky in brilliant red as they return to their roosts at sunset, while pink dolphins surface playfully in the deeper channels, their sleek forms cutting through the mirror like water. The Warao villages, built entirely on stilts above the water, appear like mirages in this watery realm. These communities represent one of the last truly amphibious cultures on Earth, where houses, schools, and even churches float serenely above the delta's ever-changing waters. The people move between their homes in small canoes with the same ease that others might walk down a street, their children learning to paddle before they can properly walk. But perhaps the most magical aspect of the Orinoco Delta reveals itself at dawn, when mist rises from the water like ethereal spirits, and the jungle awakens with a symphony of sounds. Howler monkeys announce the new day with their powerful calls, while hundreds of bird species join in nature's morning chorus. This is where you truly understand that you've entered one of the planet's last great wilderness areas, a place where human footprints are rare and nature still reigns supreme. From the tranquil waters of the delta, our journey takes us to Venezuela's vibrant capital, Caracas, a city that pulses with the energy of 5 million souls living between the mountains and the sea. Nestled in a valley 900 meters above sea level, Caracas is framed by the majestic Avila Mountains to the north and rolling hills to the south, creating a natural amphitheater that contains one of South America's most dynamic urban landscapes. The city reveals itself in layers, each telling a different chapter of Venezuela's complex story. In the historic center, colonial architecture stands as a testament to the city's Spanish heritage. The Plaza Bolívar, the heart of old Caracas, spreads beneath towering trees where Simón Bolívar himself once walked, plotting the liberation of an entire continent. The Cathedral of Caracas, with its distinctive twin towers, has watched over the city for centuries, its bells marking time through revolution, prosperity, and change. But Caracas is far from a museum piece. The modern city explodes with color and life, from the gleaming towers of the financial district to the vibrant murals that cover entire building facades in the barrios that climb the surrounding hillsides. These informal settlements, home to millions of Venezuelans, cascade down the mountainsides like urban waterfalls. Their small houses painted in brilliant blues, yellows, and pinks that can be seen from across the valley. The city's cultural heart beats strongest in neighborhoods like Chacao and Las Mercedes. where sidewalk cafes serve the perfect café con leche while salsa music spills from open doorways. Here, the Venezuelan spirit comes alive in the warmth of its people, who, despite economic challenges, maintain an infectious joy for life. Street vendors sell everything from fresh tropical fruits to handmade crafts, their voices creating a constant urban symphony that defines the Caracas experience. One cannot speak of Caracas without mentioning its relationship with the sea. Though the city sits inland, the Caribbean coast is just an hour away. And this proximity to the ocean influences everything from the humid tropical climate to the laid-back Caribbean attitude that permeates daily life. The Avila National Park, accessible by cable car from the city center, offers breathtaking views of both the urban sprawl below and the Caribbean Sea beyond, reminding visitors that Caracas is a city where mountains meet the sea. Our narrative continues westward to Chichiriviche, a small coastal town that serves as the gateway to one of Venezuela's most spectacular natural treasures, Morocco National Park. This sleepy fishing village, with its colorful houses lining a protected bay, represents the Venezuela that exists in the dreams of Caribbean travelers: pristine beaches, crystal clear waters, and a pace of life that follows the rhythm of the tides. Chichiriviche means place where the water whispers in the local indigenous language, and indeed, there's something almost mystical about the way the Caribbean Sea laps gently against the town's small harbor. The main street, lined with palm trees and small restaurants serving fresh seafood, leads directly to the water's edge, where colorful fishing boats bob peacefully at anchor, their hulls painted in brilliant blues and greens that mirror the sea itself. But the real magic of Chichiriviche lies just offshore, where Morocco National Park protects a stunning archipelago of coral islands and mangrove forests. These small islands, or cayos, rise from the turquoise waters like emeralds scattered across blue velvet. Each island has its own character. Some are perfect crescents of white sand beach fringed with coconut palms. Others are rocky outcrops where pelicans and frigate-birds nest in spectacular colonies. The underwater world here rivals any in the Caribbean. Coral reefs that have been growing for thousands of years create underwater cities where tropical fish dart between branching staghorn corals and massive brain corals. Schools of yellowtail snappers move like living clouds through the water, while parrotfish graze on algae-covered rocks, their bright colors flashing in the filtered sunlight. Green sea turtles glide gracefully through this underwater paradise, ancient mariners who have navigated these waters for millions of years. The mangrove forests that fringe many of the islands create nurseries for countless marine species. These twisted trees, with their roots extending into the saltwater, have adapted to thrive where land meets sea. Kayaking through these mangrove tunnels feels like entering a natural cathedral, where the canopy filters sunlight into dappled patterns, and the only sounds are the gentle splash of paddles and the calls of herons stalking through the shallows. Local fishermen, who have worked these waters for generations, serve as guides to this aquatic wonderland. Their knowledge of every reef, every current, and every hidden beach has been passed down through families, making them the keepers of Chichiriviche's maritime secrets. As sunset approaches, these weathered boats return to harbor, their holds filled with the day's catch, while frigate-birds circle overhead, hoping for scraps from the generous sea. Our final destination takes us to perhaps Venezuela's most hidden gem, Coche Island, a small paradise floating in the Caribbean Sea between the mainland and the larger island of Margarita. With a population of just 8,000 people scattered across its 55 square kilometers, Coche Island represents the Venezuela that few travelers ever discover, a place where time moves slowly, traditions run deep, and natural beauty remains largely untouched by mass tourism. The island reveals itself gradually as you approach by ferry from the mainland. What first appears as a brown smudge on the horizon slowly resolves into a landscape of rolling hills, pristine beaches, and small villages where life continues much as it has for centuries. The northern coast, facing the open Caribbean, is battered by constant trade winds that have shaped both the landscape and the culture of this remarkable island. These winds, which might seem like a curse to some, are actually Coche's greatest blessing. They have transformed the island into one of the world's premier kitesurfing and windsurfing destinations, attracting water sports enthusiasts from around the globe. The shallow waters of El Yak Beach provide perfect conditions for both beginners and experts, while the consistent winds ensure that every day brings new possibilities for adventure on the water. But Coche Island's appeal extends far beyond its world-class wind conditions. The island is home to one of the Caribbean's most important salt production facilities, where seawater is channeled into vast evaporation ponds that create a surreal landscape of white salt mountains and pink-tinted pools. This industry, which has operated here for over 500 years, has shaped the island's economy and culture, creating a unique way of life that revolves around the harvest of the sea. The island's beaches are nothing short of spectacular. Playa La Punta, on the island's northeastern tip, stretches for kilometers without interruption. Its white sand beaches lapped by waters that shift from deep blue to brilliant turquoise, depending on the depth and time of day. Here, you can walk for hours without encountering another soul, with only the ghost crab scuttling across the sand and the occasional frigate T-bird soaring overhead for company. The interior of the island tells a different story, one of adaptation and survival in an arid landscape. Cactus and thorny scrub dominate the terrain, providing habitat for iguanas, various bird species, and other wildlife that have learned to thrive in this challenging environment. Small villages dot the landscape, their adobe houses painted in cheerful colors that stand out against the brown hillsides. Perhaps most remarkable of all are the people of Coche Island, who have maintained their traditional way of life, despite the modern world pressing in around them. Fishing remains the primary occupation for many families, with small boats heading out each morning to work the rich waters surrounding the island. In the evenings, these same fishermen can be found in the island's small restaurants, sharing stories and cold beers while the sun sets over the Caribbean Sea. As our journey through these 4 incredible destinations comes to an end, one thing becomes abundantly clear: Venezuela is a country that defies simple categorization. From the pristine wilderness of the Orinoco Delta to the urban energy of Caracas, from the coastal charm of Chichiriviche to the hidden paradise of Coche Island, this remarkable nation offers experiences that touch the soul and create memories that last a lifetime. Each destination we've explored represents a different facet of the Venezuelan experience, yet all are united by the warmth of the people, the incredible natural beauty, and the sense that you're discovering something truly special. In a world where authentic travel experiences are becoming increasingly rare, Venezuela stands as a reminder that there are still places on this earth where wonder awaits, around every corner, where nature reigns supreme, and where the human spirit continues to flourish despite all challenges. These are the incredible scenes and hidden gems that make Venezuela one of South America's most captivating destinations, a country that rewards the adventurous traveler with experiences that simply cannot be found anywhere else on Earth.